Hello and welcome to this edition of Assistive Tech Universe. I'm Mark Schaefer, and today I have with me a wonderful device to show you, and that happens to be an Optelec ClearView C Speech video magnifier. Now before we get started with the demonstration, I'd like to give a shout out to John Wolf of EyeTech Low Vision, and you can reach John at area 310-704-5314. Let him know I sent you. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this video magnifier today. Now you're probably wondering, what's a video magnifier? Well, before we get into describing the unit to you and everything else, a video magnifier is simply a device that will allow printed or pictured text, if you will, to be enlarged. And that's what this device does. It will basically enlarge either pictures or text. Now, the old video magnifiers that used to be on the market many years ago were monochrome. Essentially, they were black and white video magnifiers. Well, today we have wonderful color video magnifiers that will allow us to look at color photos as well as objects, and it will give us the ability to enhance the text to look at text in a bright, vivid modality, if you will. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show that to you on this edition of Assistive Tech Universe. Okay, now that we're looking at the video magnifier here, what we've done so far for clarity on the camera is we've turned off our lighting so that we can actually get a really good image of the video system on the camera. So one of the things that you want to be able to do when you choose a video magnification system is you want to choose something that has really good optics and also has a really good monitor. Those are the two important things that you need to be aware of. I'm going to show you some techniques to determine how good the optics are and monitor system. Let's take a look at a color photo here. And what I'm looking at here, and what we are actually looking at, is a guide dog calendar for guide dogs of the desert. And of course, it's model or year 2015, which is a few years old, 5 to be exact. But that's all right. It will serve just fine for today's demonstration. And we see this really pretty Labrador on the cover of this calendar. And you can see the blue of the vest, and it's really good quality. So what I'm going to do is to show you how vivid this is. I'm going to go ahead and move the table down a little bit so that we can actually center the head of the dog. And we're going to go right in and get a close-up of the face. And you can kind of see the eye here as I move farther in. And you can see that this has a very wide-ranging magnification. It starts off at 1.4 magnification, and then it really goes really large. We're going right in, and you can kind of see that the system, we're actually getting the dots of the page. In fact, my hands, I probably should let go because now, oh, there we go. You can kind of see the dot pattern in the page, and that's at a level that the system is actually able to see the paper, and we're looking at the ink dots now. So we'll bring this back down again, and to show you some more vibrant color of how good the system is, we'll go ahead and change to a picture that was actually taken in Alaska. And this is a picture of some purple flowers with a lake and the sky. So we're going to go ahead again, and let me go ahead and lock the table down. That's one feature this does have, is that we can lock the table into place, the XY table, and so that it won't shake as we are demonstrating here. And we're going to go ahead and magnify so much that we are now, believe it or not, looking at the dot pattern of the page. This is a dot metrics page, and you can kind of see how the colors are being put onto the paper here with the ink. So that is actually quite interesting, that we can actually see quite in on this. So this system has a very very good magnification range. Very good vibrant color replication. You can also look at three-dimensional objects here. You can kind of see my hand here as I put it under the display. Really, really good system as far as color. Let's shift over and take a look at some print. And we can get a good description of print, provided I have it right side up. And let's see, I do, which is good. I do. This is a spiral bound manual here that actually I use for demonstrating a video magnifier as when I'm at work. And so this gives us different sizes of print. And we're looking at and I'm going to adjust the table just a wee bit so that we can physically move the table so we can get a representation of the larger print on this system. So we'll go ahead and magnify this again so you can kind of get a good idea of how good the magnification level is. So, and we're going to go ahead and show that this system has the capability of showing it in the natural mode, which is, of course, what you see is what you get, essentially, whether it's a color print or black and white print or gray print or whatever it is, it's going to demonstrate that for you in this mode. But let's say we want to enhance the color, enhance the print, because maybe we need a little bit more vibrancy. Our eyes don't see this as well. Let's change it so that we can actually get a little bit more vibrant screen. What I've done is I press the center button here, and this shows us now that we're looking at black print on a white background, and it's enhanced. So now we have a very sharp, very vivid image. And the way to know that, of course, is we're going to go ahead and magnify. And as you can see, when we get more magnification, we get the letter up on screen. So we're looking at, let's look at this. We're looking at the A here up on screen. And I'm going to lock the table so that, because when we are looking at print with this magnification level, we want it to be as steady as possible. Now, just for frame of reference, this table does have the ability to lock the x-axis and the y-axis separately, so you can have one tensioned a little bit looser than the other, or whichever way you want to do it so that it's easier to read. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. We're looking at the color choices that we have here, but there's the natural look of this print. And again, it looks pretty good, and most people can see this, but let's just say our vision is such that this isn't bright enough, or the contrast levels are not deep enough for us to be able to see this. We need more vibrant contrast. We can again enhance it, and that will give us the ability to see the print a little bit better. Now, when we're reading print, and we're reading print this large, or in large format, if you will, sometimes we can get lost on the system. This machine has a locator function, and if we just press our locator, which is this little square here to the, well, you won't see it on camera because we're looking at the screen, but essentially it's the, if you noticed your center dial on the XY table, if you go to the right of that center dial, there's a square. I'm going to press the square. It brings the print down in size. So let's just say we want to quickly go to the top of this page. So we're going to use this locating function to find our top. And I'll pull it up a bit. Here we go. And there's our top corner. Now we've got it in the square. We can press the locate button again, and what do you know? We're back to where we need to start reading. And that's exactly where we wanted it too. It put that print right up where we need it. And it brought us back to the magnification level. So it's a one key press, brings it down. One key press again, brings it back up again to the size that we had selected before. That's a nice feature as well. Let's talk about enhanced print, which we started earlier, this machine allows us to choose colors that we can, let's say if we can see print better. Some people like yellow text on a black background. That, of course, is possible, and I have that as a color choice here. There's our yellow text on a black background. And again, we can choose that. We can also choose, let's say, another calming selection that people like is white text on a blue background. That's what we have next. And so if this one works well for you, you can choose this, but there's many different color choices. So this machine does have this built in, so you can choose whatever color selection you want. Okay. One of the nice things about reading text is how fast you can read. And on this machine, you can read very rapidly because, as you can see, as we move the text back and forth, there's no blurring of the text, which is really good. And a good quality machine, you will not see any tearing or blurring of the text on screen. If I can only have this text adjusted. Now, one of the nice things about this machine is that there is a guideline at the bottom of the XY table, and it's a document rest. If you put your document against that guideline at the bottom of the table, it will be in perfect alignment with the camera. And that's a nice feature also, because sometimes as we're scanning across, we want to be able to scan easily without it either climbing or going downhill, if you will. So that's another feature that we want to be able to do. And this one makes it very easy to do. There's many video magnifiers out there on the market that don't have a guide, either whether it's above the XY table or below the XY table. It's something you want to look for in a video magnification system. Okay, let's shift back to the text here on the black background with a white text, which is really cool because, again, we can still demonstrate how quickly and rapidly we can read with minimal or no tearing at all or blurring of the text. Good quality machines should not have this problem. Okay, so that's a good selection here. Let's just say our eyes are tired. Let's look at text in a different way. This machine has the ability to read for you, and this is what I like. This is really cool. So let's get a document here by Charles Swindoll, and this is a document that we're going to have the machine read for us. So what I'm going to do is tap the front of the screen here. Here we go.
Speech on. Position the text inside the window and tap the screen.
You can tell that the machine is ready to tell us what to do. So it says position the document on the machine. So that's what we're doing now. And I think we have that done. I'm going to lock the table down again just so that it is properly positioned. Once this is ready to go, all we simply do is touch the screen. So excuse me while I do that. There we go.
Attitude by Charles Swindoll. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude, to me, is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or
now
skill.
we can pause this reading by just simply pressing the play pause button at the bottom of the screen. If we wish, we can increase the size of the document up on screen just by simply tapping our zoom features. So this allows us to read the document at the same time with our eyes as well as listen.
Make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day.
Okay, let's pause it again. We can change the volume by simply
volume up
or
volume down.
We can also change the speed of the document by
speed up, speed down, speed down.
There we go. We also have menu choices here, which I won't go into specifically, but we can use the menu system
Menu.
here to change the color of the screen. We can change the saving and retrieving of documents. We can also change the voice. This machine has different languages that we can choose from. There's a lot of things in this selection area that we can do. So that's something that you probably want to take a look at. So we're going to go ahead and get out of
Entering
here.
photo mode.
And we're going to go ahead and continue reading.
Cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes.
Excellent. So that's the document by Charles Swindoll, and that's a document that I
Learn
use a
on.
lot to demonstrate. Again, just another demonstration of what this may look like in the natural mode. And because this was printed on a laser printer, let's see if we can actually see on here. You know, the printer does a good job of printing. These characters are very strong. But you can see that the text is slightly blurry here, isn't it? Let's enhance that again by simply going into our enhanced mode. And that cleans it up. And that's really neat because now these letters are very, very sharp. Whether it's in the positive, or whether it's in a negative version, or whether it's in a color choice that you have different ways of reading text. Okay. Alright, so this has been a very brief introduction on how a video magnification systems work, at least how this one specifically works. If you'd like more information about this and other video magnifiers, please remember my friend John over at EyeTech Low Vision. And you can, of course, reach him at area 310-704-5314. Join us next time on Assistive Tech Universe. Thanks again for joining us today. Keep smiling.